Right, it's time for our first exercise. Now I'm going to show you a few lines of code where I did a few mistakes, and you should pause the video and think about what you could do better. Right, so these are the lines of codes I want you to have a look at. And as I already said, in every line of code there's at least one error, and I want you to think about what's wrong in this line of code and how you should fix it. So pause the video now, think about it, and in a few seconds I will solve the exercise for you. So let's solve this exercise together. Now, in this first line of code, I have here a variable of type string, and it saves the item name. And the problem is I'm missing the quotation marks. So I need to use those quotes here in order to make sure this value is seen as a string from the C# programming language. Right. Now, in the next line, I have got an integer variable, which should save the description, and I want to save a string value into an integer variable, which won't work. So I need to replace this int here with a string. And now I can save this string value into a string variable. Fine. Now here, this would work just easily fine. However, I didn't use camel case. So you need to use player damage with a capital D in here. And here we have a similar error, but the first character is with a capital P, which would be Pascal case, and we'll come to that later. But variables are not written in Pascal case, but rather in camel case. So we need to write a small p here. Now, unfortunately, this won't work because now I have two variables with the same name, and that's of course a problem. So I'll talk about this also in a later lecture. So I need to rename one of those variables. However, we didn't learn this right now, okay? So that's no problem if you didn't get this one. Now, the next thing. I have here a variable that consists of two kind of description names, but I have a blank space between them. So I need to delete the blank space. And now I would also need to add a capital letter to use camel case. And now again, I have a duplicate variable name. So I need to create something that this is different from this variable. All right, so now that's done too. Now here, of course, you can see this is my conception of the French language, le dommage de la player. So this is not English, so this would be then player damage 3. Then next up we have player names, and the problem here is it starts with a number, which is not possible in C#. So we would need to put the number at the back. Also I would, whoops, this is a 2. Also I would apply camel case here and use here a capital letter N for Elise and Lucille. And now lastly, this would just work out fine. However, these variable names don't say anything. I have no idea what this is. So to be fair, this would probably be player name 3 and player name 4. And that's the solution of the whole exercise. Now, did you find all the errors? If so, you can be pretty proud of yourself. If you didn't find them all, but most, that's also pretty good. If you didn't spot most of the errors, maybe rewatch some of the earlier videos to get a grasp on programming a little bit deeper. However, we're not done with variables just yet. We will continue our journey through the mystical land of variables in the next video.